The past few weeks, the Kamala Harris campaign has been poking Trump with a talking point and a challenge meant to get under his skin. And he has yet to come up with a rebuttal that makes any sense. And today's breaking story shows that he can't counter the challenge because it opposes his own words. Words that have been unearthed by CNN in a recording that I'll play for you in just a minute. Donald Trump considers himself to be a great public speaker and communicator, and that delusion is at the heart of today's story. Kamala Harris's social media team thinks otherwise, and they've been busy posting videos of his inability to hold and articulate a thought. So let's first look at Trump tripping over his own tongue via this morning's TV appearance. In this first clip, he mangles a simple question from a kid who asked about his favorite farm animal, and watch as the Fox and Friends crew indulge him with a laugh track.
What's your favorite farm animal?
What's the animal?
Well, this guy grew up in the city.
I'll tell you what I love. I love cows. But if we go with Kamala, you won't have any cows anymore because you're not allowed. I don't want to ruin this kid's day. But I love cows. I think they're so cute and so beautiful and so productive. But according to Kamala, who's a radical left lunatic, you will not have any cows anymore.
Kamala is against cows. What does that even mean? It could only have been more comical if he had said, she's eating the cows, she's eating the pigs. In this next clip, he asks the question that is on everyone's mind right now. Why didn't Abraham Lincoln settle the Civil War before it began?
Lincoln was probably a great president, although I've always said, why wasn't that settled? You know, I'm a guy that... It doesn't make sense. We had a civil war.
Well, half the country left before he got there.
Yeah. But you'd almost say, like, why wasn't that?
And just one more clip of the Trump idiocracy turned up to 11 before CNN exposes him. In this one, Trump reveals where he's going next and with no filter shares exactly what he'll be asking from the puppet master of right-wing media.
Yeah,
Thank you for giving us some time.
You know what the event I have now?
No.
A very big event. I'm going to see Rupert Murdoch.
Okay.
That's a big event. I don't know if he's thrilled that I say it.
Yeah, please tell him we all said thank you.
I'm going to tell him something very simple because I can't talk to anybody else about it. Don't put on negative commercials for 21 days. Don't put them. And don't put on their horrible people that come and lie. I'm going to say, Rupert, please do it this way.
Right.
And then we're going to have a victory.
And now for the CNN expose that I promised. I mentioned that Kamala Harris has been relentlessly poking Trump about this one thing, and it is that he showed weakness by not debating her again. Have a listen as Donald Trump reveals his true feelings on the obligation to debate, and it turns out that he supports her 100%.
Tonight, no courage. K-File tonight unearthing an interview where Donald Trump uses those words, taking on candidates who won't debate, openly mocking them, saying they don't have courage. Listen.
And, you know, some of them don't have the courage to do it. I don't want to say who, but there are a couple
we know who they are.
I mean, there are a couple of them that called me and told me, Donald, I'm just too nervous to do it. And I'm saying to myself, here's a guy that's supposed to negotiate, or a person that's supposed to negotiate against China. These guys come out of the womb, they never cry. You know, they're not even crying, and we have guys that are afraid to go into a debate.
Andrew Kaczynski of the K-File joins me now. So, Andrew, you found these old tapes. They don't have the courage to do it. What else did you find?
Yeah, you heard him right there. Those who don't debate, don't have the courage to essentially negotiate with China. That is what Donald Trump said there. And where do we find Donald Trump today now? Declining to participate in that third and would have probably been final presidential debate. Well, what is the context here for him making these remarks? Well, Donald Trump himself actually was supposed to host a presidential debate during the 2012 Republican primary. This was in December 2011. All of the major candidates turned him down. Donald Trump was not too happy about that. As we heard, Donald Trump, being Donald Trump, did a number of interviews where he took these people to tasks, including this one right here. Take a listen.
We're not seeing a lot of courage here, are we?
Not so far.
Not lots of courage. You know, these Republicans, they're supposed to be brave.
And look, Aaron, people might say, well, Donald Trump, he debated Joe Biden, he's debated Kamala Harris. They've already done 2 debates. Those candidates who he was criticizing, I had to look it up because I remember there were so many debates during that primary. I remember like Herman Cain, Newt Gingrich, Rick Santorum. They had debated before that debate, I think, 11 times already.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, we sure wish that he had said yes to that debate. We would have been very happy to host it. But he didn't.
So add this to the long list of Trump incongruents. He lies at will and he reverses himself when it serves the narrative of the day. And I think it is obvious that he's afraid to appear next to her on a debate stage because he will look weak and disheveled. And it is obvious that he is handpicking his appearances from now on, like this one on Fox. But there's something else about what we just watched that I want to revisit. Trump blurted out that he's meeting with Rupert Murdoch. Can you imagine if Kamala Harris said she was having a meeting with the most influential person at MSNBC or CNN just 18 days before the election to discuss strategy? What Trump said so nonchalantly was crazy, but the cozy and corrupt relationship between one of our two parties and cable's most watched news channel is so normalized that they had a good laugh about it. And on that note, Kamala Harris, I will give you the final word. What would you say if Fox News was sitting in front of you right now, and don't hold anything back?
This is a democracy. And in a democracy, the President of the United States, in the United States of America, should be willing to be able to handle criticism without saying he'd lock people up for doing it. And this is what is at stake.